Hey everyone, this is Robert Nicholson from LearningJack.com. Today I'm going to talk about using WordPress to manage your website. Let's start with a few basics. WordPress is a content management system, or CMS, and it's used to build websites and to add and update content. It's the most widely used content management system in the world, accounting for about 20% of the world's websites. And that's more than all other content management systems put together. Now, WordPress by itself is a very powerful tool, but it can be extended using something called plugins to build almost any kind of website, from a simple blog to an e-commerce site, even an educational site like LearningJack. For purposes of this series, we're going to assume that you had someone build your website with WordPress, and now you need to know how to update and manage the site. You're going to need access to a website that was built with WordPress, and you'll need the user ID and password to log in. Here's what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about getting started, about the important distinction between pages and posts. We'll learn how to add and edit pages, posts, pictures, how to update your website's navigation menu, undo your mistakes, manage comments left by site visitors, and how to update specific areas of your web pages called widgets. The topics in orange are going to be covered in this first lesson, and we'll get to the other topics in future lessons. So let's get started. This is a website called aveofthegiants.com, and it's all about the California redwoods. It's got all the information that a visitor to the Avenue of the Giants area might want. The site is made up of a number of pages, and each page deals with a particular topic at some length. So pages are focused usually on a specific topic, and you get to them usually through your website's navigation menu, where you can click on links that take you to different pages of the site. Now, posts, in contrast, are smaller pieces of information. Typically a paragraph or two, although they can be longer. And multiple posts will appear on one page, usually a blog page or news page. Each post has its own title, a date, maybe a category, some information about the author, and you can get to posts by clicking links in the sidebar. And typically you can even go back in time and see things that were posted months or years ago. Now, on aveofthegiants.com, some time ago, we made a post asking our visitors to participate in a survey. That survey has closed now, so we'd like to update this post to let our visitors know. To do that, we're going to need to log into WordPress. And we're going to go to a special page on the on our website, and that page is called WP-admin. There's no HTML, it's just WP-admin. And when we go to that page, we can log into WordPress using the username and password that were provided by the site designer. Like any other login screen, if you forget your password, there's a link down here that lets you get a new password. But I know my password, so let's log in. And what we see is the WordPress dashboard, which has a lot of information about our site. And on the left-hand side, it's got the WordPress menu, which is how we access all of the features of WordPress. Now, your menu may look a little bit different. Your web designer may have installed some plugins that change the menu, or the web designer may have restricted the functions that you can get access to. So again, your menu may look a little different, but let's not worry about that because we're going to tell you the things that you really need to get access to. Before we get started here, I want to show you a little trick. When I'm working on a WordPress site, I usually keep the WordPress dashboard open in one window or tab of the browser. And in a different window, I have the website itself. And that way I can go back and forth. I can go into the WordPress dashboard and make a change, flip back over to the window with the website, and see what the change looks like. You don't have to do that, but it's very convenient. Okay, back to WordPress. We want to update a post. So in the WordPress menu, we select Posts, and then we click the link for All Posts. And what we see is a list of all of the posts that we've made. It's really scrunched here because I've sized my window for the video. Normally you'd spread this out so that the titles were a little easier to read. But we're going to go down and we're going to find the post that says, "Vote for the Redwoods in the Wonders of the West." And when we roll our mouse over that title, some options appear, and we're going to go down and click the Edit option because we want to edit this post. And there it is. Now, when you're editing a post, or for that matter, a page in WordPress, you have a couple of tabs up here, right above the content. One of them says Text, and that tab shows the HTML code that's used to build the post or page. And if you're comfortable editing HTML, you can do that. But most of us are going to want to select the Visual tab. And the Visual tab is kind of like a WYSIWYG word processor. WYSIWYG means what you see is what you get. So it's a visual way of seeing the page and editing it. And below the tab, we have a toolbar with a lot of tools that can be used for formatting. Now, you may not see all of these tools because one of the tools is a toolbar toggle that will show or hide some of the options on the formatting toolbar. And I like to leave everything showing. It's just easier to work with. Let's go down to the post itself. And there's a place here that says, "Please cast your vote." And I want to get rid of that. So I'll just highlight it and delete it. And then I'm going to add some text that says, "This survey is now closed. Thank you for your vote." And again, I could use the formatting tools to italicize that. This is already in italics. Now, an important thing to know about WordPress is when you make changes in the editing window, nothing is saved until you find a blue button on the page. And this is going to be true of most WordPress dashboard pages. There will be a blue button that says something like Save or Update. So we find that button and we click it. And now we're saving the changes we made in this post. Okay, let's flip over to the other window, and we can see the original version of the post that said, "Please cast your vote." And I'm going to refresh this window. And now we see the text that says, "The survey is now closed." So we've made our first change to a post using WordPress. Now, I'd like to add a post. I want to tell our visitors about the results of the survey. So to do that, let's go back into WordPress. In the menu, we're going to say Posts, Add New. And once the edit window comes up, I can type a title, I can type some text for this post. Actually, I've already typed these things out, so I'm just going to paste them in place. And I'm going to use the formatting toolbar to italicize some things, put them in bold. Now down here, I want to link to the survey results. So I'm going to highlight this text. I'm going to come up and use the link tool. And then I'm going to paste in the URL or web address that I want to link to. I see a blue button here that says go ahead and add that link. And we can now see a link in our post. Before I save this, I want to do one more thing. When you are adding a post, you can specify what category you want the post to appear in. In this case, this is a news item. We're talking about survey results. So I'll click News, and then we'll find the blue button that in this case says Publish. And that's how we add a post. Takes a few seconds here. And now let's go back into the other browser window. I'll refresh this page. And we see the post that we've just added. So, we've learned how to log into WordPress. We learned about the difference between pages and posts. We've edited one post, and we've added another. Next time we're going to talk about pages. Come back soon.